All right, guys. We are live. Calic and I here, and thank you for joining us. Um, no, I don't know if you know me. I know some of you watching right now, you know me. You're on my email list, or you're following me on Facebook and things of that nature. But a lot of you right now who are on here probably don't know me. So I just want to take a minute to introduce myself, kind of give you a little bit of background. We do have a special guest on here tonight, Dave Wood, and I'm going to be introducing Dave to you in just a couple of minutes here. But before I do, I just want to share with you a little bit of my story. So, when I got started here with Empower with Dave, I was actually working in a cafe full time. I was serving coffee for a living, barely making over minimum wage, barely squeaking by financially. I'd come off of another failed business venture, which had pretty much been the story of my life for the 8 years leading up to that, as a struggling or aspiring entrepreneur. And I was really at the lowest point that I've been financially. And that's when I came across, a little ad on Facebook. I watched Dave Wood's video. Most of you have probably watched it now. And that's when I decided to go ahead and just, take action. And so back then, that was October or September of 2012. And at the time, I was broke. I was living in a spare room in my mom's house. I was barely squeaking by financially, barely making over minimum wage, had never made a dime on the internet, had never been involved in any work, a home business type of business opportunity. No experience in that industry at all. But I just made a decision to get started. I just made a decision to change my life. I made a decision to stop living my life under circumstances any longer. And thanks to the special guest that I'm bringing out here in a minute, I was able to turn that situation around and go from completely flat broke, not knowing where my next meal was going to come from a lot of times, all the way to 6 months later, I was able to quit my job, work online full time. I had my first $10,000 month, that either month 5 or month 6, somewhere around there, and have gone on to do a little over $100,000 in commission. And I do want to be clear here that nothing that I'm saying could ever be taken as a guarantee of income. Obviously, I can't guarantee you an income. This is a business, right? And so just like any business, it requires leadership, hard work, dedication, commitment. And obviously, like I said, I'm not guaranteeing you an income, right? And if you want, we do have a full income disclosure that you can check out, and I think it's totally badass. It's updated every 24 hours. And we've gone above and beyond on our income disclosure, and you can check that out at empowernetwork.com/income. And so that's kind of my story. I got started here really, under dire circumstances, and have gone on to completely turn my life around. And I have another friend on here, but we won't be able to pull him out and talk to him a bit. His name is Paul Woolley. Paul, you want to just wave at the camera real quick? Paul got started with me as well. When Paul got started, he had $27 in his checking account. That was it. No income, no job, no idea what he was going to do next with his life. $27. In fact, when Paul got started, his first blog post was titled "How I Spent the Last $27 to My Name." That's how he got started here in October of 2012. And since then, he's gone on to earn as much as $7,000 in a single month. And again, I'm not guaranteeing you any sort of income. It really, that's entirely up to you. So without further ado, though, I'm going to bring out my man, my friend, my mentor, the guy that's really kind of taught me almost everything that I know about making money on the internet, really has inspired me to go on and change my life. And this man is actually an astrophysicist. He's a doctor. I believe he's actually performed heart surgery on himself at least once or twice. That's how incredible he is. I have seen him walk on water. It may have been frozen water, like a pond or something. I don't know. But still, he walks on water on occasion. He's been called the MLM Jesus. and I'm just happy to call him a friend. Without further ado, Dave Wood.
Hey, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Hey, what page is this on so I can go there and see if I can interact with the comments at all?
Oh, it's projectfreedomteam.com/special-hangout.
Special hangout. I think here, shoot it to me in the comments or on Facebook or something, man. I think I spelled it wrong. I can't spell.
I'll shoot it to you on Facebook.
All right, yeah, cool. Well, guys, first of all, it's just cool to be on here. It's on a Friday night, and the cool thing about you being here on a Friday night is that I think it just means something about you. I think that it means that you're the kind of person that really, really does want to create a transformation in your life. I love hearing stories like this where somebody can get started and they were working at a coffee shop. You know what I mean? I just logged into your account, man, and I didn't have a calculator with me to actually see how much money you've made total. But this is what I want to hear. I'm going to talk some of your numbers here for people.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So this is like a little over a year, and he has made, from our $25 product in the last year, this guy has made $16,075. From the $100 product that we've got, which is the Inner Circle, he's made $25,000. From the Costa Rica Intensive, he's made $12,500. That's a $500 product. From the 15K Formula, which is a $1,000 product we sell, he's made $20,994. And from the Master's course, which is a $3,500 product, he's made $36,000. And then from a Viral Blogging Academy, that one's a little different because we did that in a bonus pool originally, but you've made $200 from that. And then from the High Ticket Academy, which we just launched yesterday, and this is why I want to point this out, we just launched this yesterday, he's earned $985, which means that from yesterday, which was when we launched, which was at 9 o'clock Eastern time till now, you've made on top of what you normally make an extra, like almost an extra $1,000, $985. And like, if you could just imagine, and I don't know because I've never worked at a coffee shop, but I imagine it's like a minimum wage job. Like, what is it, $8 an hour, something like that?
I was getting 10. I was getting 10 an hour.
You're getting 10 an hour. So that means that you were making $400 a week before taxes. So after taxes, probably like $300 a week, or something like that, maybe less.
Yeah, my average paycheck was like $690.
It was $690, so you worked a lot.
Yeah.
At the coffee shop. Was that for 2 weeks or was that for 1 week?
No, that's 2 weeks.
So 2 weeks.
It's $690.
So between 9 p.m. Eastern time last night and now, from a new product that we just launched last night, he's earned more money than he was earning before by a third, by a full 50% more. If his average check was $680, he earned $985 from last night till now. That's pretty badass, dude. You know what I mean? You know what's cool is you can compress time frames with things where what's not possible for you when you start you can eventually get to a place where you can do what used to take you 6 months and you can do it in a day, right? And that's where this is going. This is going. What I want to do is log in here one day, just to your account, because I just like doing that. Because it's one of the only useful things about being an owner of Empower Network, because I make money like everybody else, so I have this cool ability to log into people's accounts and check out how much money they've made. And I'm going to log in here one day with the new product we launched one day and see you make more money in one day than you ever made in a year prior to getting involved.
I'm ready for that, man. I'm looking forward to that. I think my best day so far has been like $6,025, which would have been like 3 months worth of work at my job or something.
Well, check check this out. Now I'm not bragging here. I just want to point this out because this is like what's possible. This is I'll just go to my affiliate account. Hold on a second here.
Oh yes, let's see it.
Well, I can't pull it up because I can't remember the password. It's stored in my computer, which is hilarious. I probably shouldn't tell anybody that since it's still my computer. All right, so I go in and then click on High Ticket Academy. So between last night when we launched that and now, I've earned $48,265 from that product, just like everybody else. And we're not talking about owning the company because the company did $400,000 in sales on that. We're talking like an affiliate, just going out there and selling stuff. So from last night at 9 p.m. Eastern time and now, my affiliate account earned $48,265 from one product that's brand new. So here's the cool thing. Okay, now I've got all sorts of symbols around me here. I don't have it. Here we go. I'll get out my expensive watch. And I want to. There's a reason I'm talking to everybody here about this. You know, we already talked about the income disclosure. We're not guaranteed you're making any money by talking about this. And I hope you don't hear bragging, right? Sometimes people hear this and they're like, oh, they're so arrogant. Not really. I never even wear this. I leave it in my man purse that I carry around and leave on things, and sometimes leave in restaurants and stuff. So this watch here costs more than I'd ever made in a year prior to 2009 when I got started in my business on the internet, right? And this was about $39,000, right? Now here's the fun thing. Here's the fun thing. What's fun is between last night at 9 p.m. Eastern time and now, my affiliate account in Empower, which operates just like yours, right? Which just means I've sponsored more people than you. I earn from my affiliate account $48,265 just on one extra product, okay, that didn't exist until yesterday, in less than 24 hours. So that means in the last 24 hours I've made more money than I ever made in a year prior to learning what we teach at Empower Network, which was in 2009 I started learning these skills. So 2009 I start learning. I'm living in a van, green 1996 Dodge Caravan. I'm working at Greenpeace, right? And that year I made about $13,000, right? So here we are, we're in 2013, just applying this formula for, what, 4 years? A little over 4 years. One day, I suddenly make, from a new product that we came up with yesterday, more money than I ever made in an entire 12-month period of time, the entire rest of my life. What that shows you is this. It shows you that where you are isn't reflective of what you can do, right? It's not just me say, look what I've done. I hope you're hearing me say is look what you can do if you just get started. You know what I mean? Like a lot of you guys are watching this. You know, you're on the list. You come to the webinars and stuff like that, and you know you don't really know what to think. Well, for now, don't just join. You know, we're in a special time right now where things are moving quickly. And, you know, Empower Network is a unique model because when we launched the company, you know, when we launched the company, we wanted to do something different. We wanted to do something actually where you can earn money just like the people at the top. And it was a unique concept. Nobody had ever done anything like that before. And it was a concept that took off. You know, after we started this company, we started seeing the effect it was having on people. We got stories like this, where we'd have a guy in a coffee shop who's making $680 every 2 weeks. You know, start a business, and then a little over a year later has a day where that day is better than 3 weeks of his previous pay. You know, or he has a day where one day is 10 times his existing 2 weeks pay. You know, he said earlier, I think my best day ever was, what, 6,000?
Yeah, my best day was like 6,025 or something like that. That's or maybe 6,125. That's gross though. I mean, after the fees, and obviously it'd be a little bit less after the processing fees, but still, I mean, that's 10 times. I wouldn't have earned that in 5 months at my job, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you look at that, it's like 6,000 something, and you just told me your 2 weeks' pay was 680 net, right? So
Yep.
that means you just made 10 times your net pay in 24 hours in one day, right? Now I look at that and I say, I'm not like the most brilliant person in the world, but I can connect dots and say 10 times my previous pay is a lot of money. You know what I mean? That's like, what do you start doing when you start earning 10 times your previous pay? It's like, well, you buy different watches, different pants, drink different wine, go to different restaurants, live in a different house, right? You get a little bit of a pep in your step. All of a sudden you become more attractive and more sexy to the opposite sex. You start enjoying life more, right? And I love it when people say things like, oh, these guys are so focused on money, because really I'm not. The only reason I talk about it on stuff like this is because you're here, right? Because I know you're focused on money, aren't you? Because you don't have as much as you want. You're living life in a deficit, right? Because our system is built to put people in a spot where it's like their life is in a deficit, right? You get your $680 2-week paycheck, and then you go to cash it, dreading it. Not because you're not excited to get $680, you're dreading it because you know where all that money and more is going. Right? You remember that? You remember that? You remember taking your check and like you get it and you're like, oh, because you know you don't have money again in a day. You know what I mean? Or you don't have money again in 3 days. You got to go back to the coffee shop. You know what I mean? Back to the coffee shop. It's almost like a title of a blog post right there. Back to the coffee shop. A horror story of how my life used to be. You know what I mean? And you go back and you get you work for another hour and you get another $10, right? And you look at the $10 for an hour and you say, is this really me? Or the $20 or even $30? Is that really me? Am I somebody that trades my time for money? There's always jokes about doing that. It's like, there's a profession that's a lot like that. That's the oldest profession in the world. Where you trade your time for your money, but at least those people get paid more than that per hour.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and that's kind of funny, man.
Yeah. Well, everybody does, And so what this is really about, it's about freedom. My voice is a little bit hoarse because I was talking for 4 hours last night, and this is what I want to encourage all of you guys to do who are on here. I actually got it. I think you sent me the link. Let me go to this page here. All right.
Sent you the link. We drove so much traffic in that we crashed the link, so I'm getting people to watch it on YouTube right now.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. You crashed. So I did go to the right link. That 500 internal server error was the.
Yeah, we crashed the server. You saw Paul got off the Hangout. He's talking with the hosting company right now because we had upgraded it to VPN or whatever, and now we crashed the server. So he's emailing everybody to let them know to watch it on YouTube until we get the server back up.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Well,
He's messaging me on Facebook, updating me with what's going on.
Oh, that's great. This is the great thing is you don't have to be good with technology to do this. Apparently you don't have to be good with technology to do what you've done. Now check this out. So we read his numbers off a little bit, right? And there's a link to join right now and to buy. Is there just a link to buy? Is there a link to do anything else down there, like to log in and buy the High Ticket Academy? What all is there? Well, nothing because you're on YouTube, right?
Well, nothing right now, but on the actual page, which should be coming back up in a bit, there's just a link to buy the blogging system for $25 right below.
Okay, well, here's what I'm going to encourage everybody here to do, even if you don't have a link, okay? is I'm going to encourage you to right now go to your email and find a link to join. And here's what you should do. Everybody here has got a credit card, right? And just kind of reach over and find it and grab out a credit card, like this. And then just kind of set it on your computer. It's like, what I do when I buy in something is I take my computer and I kind of put my credit card in the corner like that, and just type your information in and just get started. I remember hearing a story. You'll think this is funny. And I'm talking to a guy, Greg, right, who's had some $40,000 and $50,000 months with Empower. And this is how he joined Empower. His friend called me and said, dude, just get in. Just pull out your credit card and get in. And he said, I'm not getting in this. And he says, then get on this call. And he gets on this call, and he's actually in another network marketing deal, right? And he's listening to his call talking about the beautiful skincare products they've got and all this stuff. And he's like trying to pump himself up and pace back and forth and get excited. And then he picks up this other call, and it's me on the line. And on the line, he hears me say, just pull out your credit card right now, go to the website and buy. Right now, here's what to do. Go to your email. There's a link in your email. Click the link in your email, open it up in the new window. Take your pen, put it in your pocket, grab your credit card out, put it on your computer, and then start typing your credit card information in and just hit the button and join. Just pull out your credit card and join. And he starts laughing hysterically, hangs up his other company's call, and because he needed that hand to reach into his pocket to pull his wallet out to get his credit card. And then he entered the credit card information into the screen, and he just joined.
I have a cool story, man. Last night we launched High Ticket Academy, right? And I'm posting into my private Facebook group like, hey guys, everybody, you guys need to go check this out. We're launching a new product and everything. And one of the top earners on my team, who's a guy who literally, when he started, Dave, this guy didn't even know how to open up an extra tab in his browser. The day I showed him that, he was like, dude, you've changed my life forever. I thought I could only go to one website at a time. This is how new he was to online marketing. Now he's one of my top earners, right? Anyway, so I'm on this hangout with you last night, and he and I were supposed to go hit the gym together. He lives out here in Hawaii along with me. And so I texted him. I was like, hey, are you on the hangout? He's like, no, why? Should I be? I was like, yeah, man, we're launching a new product. I said, hey, I got the text right here in front of me. I'll read it to you. I said, hey, just log in right now to your back office and buy the High Ticket Academy for $197 right now. And the response that comes back is okay. And 2 minutes later, he says, I don't know if you can see this or not. What did I just buy, bro?
Well, my favorite story is actually buying stuff is fun. That's the thing everybody's got to just get used to. Is like buying is actually really exciting. Like it's exciting to buy. You know what I mean? It's exciting to pull your credit card out and buy something. I just enjoy doing it. There's nothing I like more than just like walking into a store. I see something I want to get, and then I just it's like my hand kind of just like automatically by itself just starts levitating across the universe, reaching for a credit card to just buy something. Because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy buying. But Tracy Walker, when she got involved in Empower, and she's actually getting close to $1 million in commissions now. It was really funny. Now, I wouldn't say this to anybody. I said it to Tracy. I shouldn't repeat this on a live stream, actually, but I will anyway. It's not true, what I'm about to say. But anyway, so Tracy, we'd launched a company, and I'd been meaning to connect with her, and I got her on the phone a few days in. And she says, Dave, just what is it? And I said, it's a scam, Tracy. Just join. And she, what she said? She said, okay, where do I put my credit card? Yeah, that was different because I had a little bit of a rapport with Tracy. You know what I mean? Where it's like we're we've known her forever, you know, and it's like, just stop asking these questions. I mean, what did I really say? I'm just like, just stop asking questions and just get in. You know, how long can you think about it? You know what I mean? It's like, well, I want to understand the comp plan. It's like Tony Rush didn't even understand the comp plan until like 6 months ago. You know what I mean? Vic didn't understand it the first the retreat I went to, and he'd earned over $1 million. I went to this retreat with Vic, and I was listening to him explain the comp plan, and I was like, Vic, that's not how the comp plan works. He didn't think that you got pass-ups from way down in the organization. He just thought it was one level. So here, Vic had gone out, and he'd earned like $1 million in commissions thinking we have a one-level comp plan. You know what I mean? He didn't know that he was getting pass-ups from like 10 levels down in his organization and stuff like that. You know? Now, I guarantee you he loves the comp plan regardless of whether he understands it. Why? Because Vic understands what we're doing, which is, what are we doing? Number one, we're buying stuff, right? Why? Because if you don't buy stuff, how are you going to sell anything? You know, people sometimes are in this like funky position where there's like, well, you know, I don't want to buy it. You know, I just want to sell it. You know, it's like, well, this isn't a job. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like the most arrogant people ever, they say things like that because they're like, well, if you go to a regular job, you know, they don't make you pay anything to you know, you don't have to buy anything during commission. You don't have to buy anything during commissions here either, right? However, we won't work with you if you don't because we're working with our customers. We're not working with people that aren't making decisions and buying, right? But anyways, I mean, it's like this thing. When I'm in a job, yeah, I don't have to buy anything. Well, a job pays you $10 an hour. Go for it. You know what I mean? I need a maid and a carpenter. You know, maybe you could come help me out, and I'll pay you $10 an hour. You know, I mean, a lot of people around me, they work real hard. The reality is, though, is that there's people on here who have been looking and looking and looking and looking and looking at Empower Network. And for some reason, you just haven't joined yet. You know what I mean? You're like, well, I would never be involved with anything like that because there's more important things than money. Yeah, when you've got all the money that you want, I'd probably agree. However, when you don't, it's like air. You know what I mean? It's all you can think about. You know, I remember thinking about money all the time because I was always wondering how I was going to eat, right? And when you're wondering how am I going to eat? How am I going to eat? Right? Or how am I going to pay for my clothes? You know, or you stain a pair of your jeans and you're just like infuriated over it because you can't get a new pair of jeans because they're like $100 and that's like a sixth of your 2-week pay. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you buy clothes if you live in Hawaii and work at a coffee shop? Well, you got to steal them, probably. You know. When I used to live down there, I used to have my shirts disappear, you know, probably from people working at coffee shops and needing new shirts, you know. You know, I'm joking a little bit half in jest, but I've lived there. It's expensive in Hawaii, you know, expensive. You live in a little bit of a better place now that you've got some money?
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
And it's cool that you bring this up. I wanted to share this real quick story with those who are watching. You know, Hawaii, actually, the cost of living in Hawaii is quite expensive. I think the only city that surpasses us is New York. So, I mean, in comparison to the wages that are paid out here and the cost of living, Hawaii is really, really difficult to succeed in. And you know, I mean, you lived in a van when you were out here, man. So I mean, you know what I'm talking about. But here's a kind of a cool story for you. August of 2012 was my girlfriend's birthday, and my girl and I had been together for 7 years at that time. And her birthday was coming up, and you know, I was struggling financially. I mean, I was broke. You know, I was broke. And what had happened was one day we were hanging out at my mom's place, and my mom had brought home this box, you know, from one of her customers, one of her clients' homes. And my mom has a home care business. She takes care of like all their dry cleaning, you know, for like, you know, for people who takes care of all their dry cleaning, cleans their homes. If they need in-home care, she handles that, all of that. So she brings home this box from one of her clients' homes, And I was asking her, I was like, "Hey, Mom, what's that?" She goes, "Oh, just some purses that I need to take down to Goodwill for one of my clients." And so she opened up the box, and my girl started looking through it, and there was this bag in the box that my girl, she pulled it out, and she's like, "Oh, this one's really nice. I kind of like it." And it was just a purse. I don't really even remember what the brand was, and I didn't think much of it at the time. My girlfriend and I went off with the rest of our day, did our thing, and it came up to the point of her birthday, and I had no money. And so I ended up going to my mom, and I was like, "Hey, Ma, you you still got the box of purses?" She was like, "Yeah, what do you need it for? I haven't taken it down to Goodwill yet." And I had to open up this box of purses, and I took out that purse, that used purse that was somebody else's trash, and that's what I wrapped up in an old Macy's box that I had in the house, and I wrapped that up, and that's what I gave my girlfriend for her birthday. I gave my girlfriend somebody's used purse that was supposed to go to Goodwill because I couldn't afford to do anything for the girl that I had been with for 8 years. And that was right around the time where, I just kind of made this decision that, like, look, I got to do something here. This is just not fair. I mean, it's one thing if I'm paying the prices of being broke, but then I look at the people that I love the most in my life, and they're paying the prices too, And, a year later, her birthday came around, and I told her, "Babe, whatever you want for your birthday, just kind of let me know. Throw some hints out there." And I had a pretty nice sized budget set aside for what her birthday gift could be. Thank God she didn't eat up the whole budget. All she wanted was a GoPro camera and some of the add-ons. I think it cost me about a little under $600 for her birthday. But a year later, I was able to actually get her something for her birthday, something that would have been my entire paycheck a year before that. I was able to get that for her birthday, but it's really not about the gift. It's about the fact that, I didn't have to worry. I didn't have to dig through somebody's garbage to find her gift for my girlfriend. I was able to put a smile on her face, and I didn't have to worry about what she was going to ask for because I knew that I could give that to her for her birthday. And I just wanted to share that story because for me, that day, a year later, that I actually give her what she wants for her birthday, and I looked back on the previous year, remembering that the previous year I had given her somebody else's, purse that they were throwing out. It just really brought tears to my eyes, man, and I was really, really grateful for what we do here at Empower Network and what you and Dave have put together and everything that I've learned from you guys, because it's not just transformed my life, but it's transformed my family's life. It's transformed my mom's life. It's transformed my brother and his wife's life because I'm able to help people out some more. It's transformed my girlfriend's life, my friends' lives, and it's definitely transformed my life. So it's really not just about the fact that I earn more money, but about the fact that I'm able to do more for the people that I love and care about the most because I'm not living paycheck to paycheck. And, honestly, I didn't even live paycheck to paycheck when I was working at that coffee shop. I lived paycheck to 2 or 3 days before the next paycheck. That's how my life looked. I bought a lot of canned food at the time because I knew that I wouldn't have money leading up to my next paycheck. I used to eat, like cans of tuna and stuff to get by. That's where I was financially. And now, I'm able to take my girl out to 5-star restaurants. We go, fine dining, order bottles of wine, champagne, and have a really nice time together. And I don't have to stress about those types of things. So I just wanted to throw that story in there with you real quick there, Dave.
Well, that kind of thing is what I love to hear because I remember that more than anything we talk about specific. If anybody's wondering what this is, just buy. Just get in, and you'll find out afterwards. Oh, I miss Hawaii, dude. I gotta come out and visit you sometime. When I first got involved in network marketing, I used to really struggle with recruiting. And the reason is because I was in an organization where they never asked people for a decision. They tell stories kind of like we do for like hours, and then by the end of it, you were like, God, I want to be in this thing, whatever it is. And then you'd get to like, I'm going to get in. They'd be like, all right, everybody, let's go home. You know what I mean? And then you'd like go home and think about it for 2 days, right? So I'd bring people to these meetings, and the people would be like drooling, and they were like, oh my God, this is like the most awesome thing ever. And they don't even realize their hands like on their chest like this while they're saying that because their like eyes are glazed over from the hypnosis. And then And then afterwards, they're like, all right, here, think about it for 2 days, and you give them an $80 pack of information. And you'll think this is funny. You know, I used to drive this car, and I didn't have insurance on it in Phoenix, Arizona. It was like this old, like, Ford thing. It had, like, black paint that was peeled off everywhere. It wasn't a truck. It was like a Ford car, a Taurus, I think is what it was. I bought it for $400 from a Mexican who I think had stolen it. Anyways, but I bought this car, and I drove it around to these Amway meetings, right? And I had like a suit that I had worn when I was a missionary that I got dry cleaned like every 3 weeks, and every night I'd go around and run around hitting people up, talking to people, and inviting them to these Amway meetings. And we used to give people these info packs that were like these big packets of like audio tapes and books and magazines and stuff like this. And I'd give this to people because I had to give it to them because it was a system. But it was like $80 of stuff, right? And they told me, it's like you give it to them, and the reason why you got to give them $80 of stuff is because then you can get it back. Because it's valuable, they'll give it back to you. But the reality is you give this packet of info to people, and if you leave people and they can go home after, like, if you do a normal network marketing presentation, here's what happens. You pull out the whiteboard, everybody's like all pumped up and excited after an hour of storytelling, and then you show them the vitamins, and they're like, oh. You know what I mean? So they're like, they leave and they're like, oh, I'm interested, right? And then they just are hoping to never see you again because people don't like telling you no, right? So I give them this like $80 packet of like stuff, right? Like magazines, books, and I'd be like, I got to get this back because I got to give it to somebody else. That's what they told you to say. I got to get this back because I got to give it to somebody else, right? But the reality is that I could never get it back because the second they drove off of that thing, they're like, thank God I'm out of here, right? And then they just drive off with this info pack. Well, it was $80. So I'd be hassling people for weeks trying to get this thing back because I couldn't afford to buy more of them. So I couldn't show the plan to somebody else because this person had my info pack and I needed it back. You know what I mean? I had like 3 of those. It was like a week's pay, you know what I mean? And so that's how I used to like build my business back in the day. But we'd get people and we'd never just tell them to join. And then I remember I went to this seminar with this other guy that was bald, kind of like you, but he was older, you know. And it was funny. This company, this guy, there was 3 guys that were all bald, and each of them looked like Lex Luthor. There's 3 of them, right? And it wasn't just the bald, because you don't really look like Lex Luthor, you know, not so much. But these guys all looked like him, like they could each play an evil Lex Luthor in a Superman flick. Anyway, so you know, he taught me the secret. He said, just ask people to join. And I said, it can't be that easy. And the next time I got somebody to a meeting, I remember I brought somebody to a meeting, they sat down, and I looked over at the end of the meeting, and I said, it looks like you like what you saw, right? And they said, yeah. Like a lot of you guys, you've been liking Empower Network forever. You're like, well, I might do it. I don't know. I'm in this vitamin deal. I'm getting 4% commissions, and I'm really liking it. Okay, whatever. Anyways, you know, you've been looking at it, and I was like, hey, it sounds like you like what you see. And the people are like, the guy was like, yeah. And so I said, it sounds like you're ready to get started. And the guy said, well, and I said, just pull out your credit card and fill this out. And I was like, at that time I'd gotten a little immune to the rejection, you know, because I got so rejected so much, I just didn't care what I said anymore, because like if somebody tells me no, it's like it bounces off of you, you know, after a while. But this guy here, he has this, you know, he has this pocket with the credit card in it, you know, he's sitting there, and he like takes this application, and he's like this, and I said, just pull out your credit card and fill out the application. Here's your pen. Right? And so here's what he did. He took the pen, he had the piece of paper in one hand, and he said, yeah. Got his credit card out, pulled out his wallet, you know, pulled out his credit card, got a pen, and he just started filling this thing out. And I was like, Lord Jesus, that did not just happen right in front of my eyes. People just want to join. You know what I'm saying? They just want somebody to ask them to join. They just want to get in. That's what I find, is people just want to get in. And so what I started doing later, like I started getting on the internet, and I got really good at recruiting people into different things. I got really good at selling and recruiting. And what I found is amazing. I mean, I used to have all these formulas. Like if somebody would ask, is this a pyramid scheme? I would actually answer that question. I'd be like, well, it's not a pyramid scheme because, like, you know, I'll tell you what's a pyramid scheme. It's like, you know, you have a president of a company, and then the CEO, and you got two presidents, and then they got vice presidents, and then they got managers, and then you got all the little employees. That's a pyramid scheme. Right? You get these like dumbass answers that you think people are interested in this bullshit. You know what I mean? You think that they're saying that because they want you to answer it. You know, that's the problem, is you think they want you to answer it. You know what I mean? And really they don't. They don't care if it's like most people. If it was a pyramid scheme, legitimately don't care. Right? Now, luckily, we market things that aren't. Right? But most people legitimately don't give a crap. Right? That's why the government doesn't like pyramid schemes, because when there's a real pyramid scheme, everybody joins it. Because they want to be in those things, and the government doesn't want them to be in, so the government shuts them down. Right? You know what I'm saying? People love pyramid schemes. That's why the government shuts them down. It's because people love them so much. You know what I mean? So they make them illegal. You know, so like I used to think people legitimately like had a concern about that. What they want to know is, are they getting in at the top of the pyramid scheme? Is what they want to know, and are you going to place people underneath them? Right? That's what they want. Right? They want to be. They don't want. They want to be the top of the pyramid. You know what I'm saying? So one time I was sitting there, and like I was in a legitimate deal because I've always marketed stuff with real products, real services, with real comp plans, with real customers and stuff like that, right? So I sit there, and this guy says, "Is this a pyramid scheme?" And I go like this. If you get in now, I'll put you at the top. Right? And this guy was like, this guy got like a bead of sweat dripping down the side of his face, you know what I'm saying? He's like, the sweat's dripping on his face, and he goes like this, he goes, kind of looks around, you serious about this thing? And I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get rich. And then he says, here. And he pulled out his credit card, and he goes like this, he says, here, just take my credit card. Right? And then I played along, I like got a pen, and I'm like this, and I'm like, here. Don't tell anybody I put you in a special place. You know? And he just joined, he wanted to join a pyramid scheme. And I was like, you're shitting me, people just want to get in. You know? And one time I started recruiting a lot of people on the internet, right? And I like, at first I had all these internal formulas on how to talk to people. It was like, I'm going to say this, and this person will get in. If they say this, I say this. And then if they say that, I say this. And it worked really well with all these like formulas and scripts and stuff. But then one day, this guy, you know, calls me out of the blue, and he said he tricked me into getting on a three-way call. And I hate three-way calls, right? Because you hear the word three-way and get excited, but then hear call, and then the excitement goes away, right? You know what I'm saying? But in any case, so, you know, this guy says, David, I got somebody on the line, I want you to talk to him. And before I could say, I was going, he goes, Pete, and he goes, Bill, I got this guy on the phone, right? And this guy pumped me up like I'm walking on water, glowing in the dark, shooting lasers from my eyes. You know, I got magical powers. In any case, right? So I'm like, oh God, I'll just talk to him whenever. He's like, and he goes, Dave, Billy has seen the presentation, and is a really good prospect, and he's got some questions. And I was like, oh. But then this guy just starts pelting me with questions. You ever had one of those people? There's like you actually talk to them, and it's like they ask what you do, but they don't really want to know what you do. They just want to discount it. You know what I mean? It's like they want to say like they want to feel like they have a reason to discount it, so they ask questions, and that's the only reason why they're asking questions. You know what I mean? It's like yeah. So what is it? And then you say, well, I earn commissions selling personal development products. Personal development about what? Well, about how to market it. Well, what are you marketing? You know what I mean? It's like that. It's like they ask a question before you answer, and they like want to one-up you. You know what I mean? So this guy does that like twice. And then I pause for a second after he asks a question. And I say, dude, can I answer your question? Or are you just going to keep cutting me off? Because I got stuff to do here. Right? And the guy goes, oh, I'm sorry, I'll let you answer the question. And so I said, well, let me explain. And then I started answering the question. And he goes, well, what about this and this, blah, 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 right? And I say, one more time. Do you want me to answer your question? Or are you going to keep cutting me off? Right? And then the guy said, and I was just legitimately irritated. I actually just wanted to get off the phone. I mean, I wanted an excuse to hang up. I wasn't trying to be an asshole here. And anyway, so this guy, he's like, we're sitting there and we're talking on the phone, and he was like, oh, no. Right, I got it. So I started answering. He cuts me off, and I say, go fuck yourself. Right? And I'm sitting there I was actually a Skype phone because I didn't have a phone for years. That was a true story. And I heard dead silence. And he goes, what did you just say? And I said, maybe you missed the part of the conversation where I told you to take your snotty ass attitude and go fuck yourself. Right? And so here's what happened, right? And I was just legitimately irritated because I didn't want to sit there and get beaten to death with dumb questions, right? I wanted to go to the beach because I was, and I said, and the guy paused, dead silent, right? And I say, here's the deal. You listening? And he goes, yep. I said, oh, here's the deal. How much money you make last year? He goes, how much money you make last year? He goes, I said, how much money did you make last year? He goes, $30,000. And I said, and you think you're a hot rod? And here you are, you're on the phone. I'm living in Costa Rica, with a gorgeous woman, making more money every single month than you're making in an entire year. And here I am trying to answer your questions while you're being an asshole to me, and you should be washing my shoes, begging me to know what I know. So here's the deal. If you don't get in, I ain't ever going to talk to you again, and I ain't ever going to answer your bullshit questions again, even if you get in. So if you're going to ask me this bullshit, go fuck yourself. I'm hanging up the phone. Right? Now, that guy never called me with a three-way call again. But here's what else happened. This guy, after I cussed him out, which I'm just not like this. I'm not like a confrontational guy. Right? But here's what happens. He's like this with his phone, and he put down his phone, pulled out his credit card, opened up his computer, set his credit card down, and he filled that thing out and joined, and 10 minutes later, I got an email that said, you just earned a commission. And I about shat my pants. That broke every rule that I'd ever heard of in my life for selling stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't expecting that guy to join. I just wanted to get off the phone. Right, but here's what happened after that. I learned something. I learned that people really don't want questions answered. Right? What they want is they want to know, number one, right, is this for real? Right? Is this for real? People want to know, but they don't really need details to know that. What they want is they need to know it's for real. Right? They need to know it's real people. You know what I mean? People get up here in this industry and they talk like snooty assholes all the time. It's like you get in a suit and a tie and it's like dress in a suit and a tie to a meeting. I mean, who in God's name wants on a Friday night to dress in a suit and tie and go anywhere but somewhere where they're going to go out with a hot girl and have sex? You know what I mean? Nobody. You know what I mean? Like, what's the purpose in that? Like, other than going out. Like, here's the thing. If I'm with my lady, right, I will dress nice and go out somewhere, right? Because that's going to make her happy. That makes sense to me. But I sure as hell don't want to go to a hotel room and sit there and listen to some boring old guy drown on for 2 hours who's not acting like a person at all just to make a commission. I just don't want to do it, right? So people want, like, realness. And people, they see me and they hear me talking and they're like, is this guy for real? Guys, this company did last year $63 million in sales. And I dress like this all the time. All the time. Well, sometimes I dress up. That's when I go out. But when I work, I certainly don't dress up. Who wants to do that? You know what I mean? The only purpose of that is to please your lady. You know what I'm saying? That's it. She's happy, then you have a good night. Other than that, what's the purpose of dressing up? There isn't one, right? If we're selling stuff, I don't want to dress up to impress you. I mean, gosh, if you don't want to join, just go, don't join, don't get in. You know what I'm saying? But people see this and they're like, is this for real? Last year we did $63 million in sales like this, right? More than double the previous year. I believe this year we're going to hit over 150 million in sales in Empower Network, right? And that's just the start, guys. We just launched a product that we launched last night called High Ticket Academy, where right now you can get a product that's a $1,000 product, and you can buy it right now if you're a member of Empower Network for a discount of only $197, right? Only $197. And we're going to teach you in that $197 something that usually is not taught for less than $10,000, right? Because we don't want to just bring you stuff to earn commissions. That's cool, you know. And hey, in a perfect world, we all just say, hey, let's just pass money around. But the reality is, we want to give value. You know what I'm saying? We want to give value to people. We want you to get more value than what you pay. So everybody else is selling these trainings on how to sell high-ticket products, this is really how you can go out and you can sell a $5,000 product once a month and earn a $5,000 commission. Or you can sell a $10,000 product and earn a $7,000 or $8,000 commission, right? And if you do that once a month, most of you are making more money than you make in your jobs and stuff, right? That's what high-ticket commissions is really all about. So we just made this product called High Ticket Academy, and this product is a $1,000 product. And during the launch window, for members of Empower Network only, during a short time, we've reduced the price to $197. We've already got like 1,800 people who've registered and bought that product just in the last 24 hours. And not only that, if you buy it now, you can take advantage of the promotional window, and over the course of the next 7 days, there's 1 million of them being sold. You can sell one, make your money back as you're learning how to go out there and earn higher ticket commissions. How did this man here? How did he go out and make $6,000 in a day? I bet you he sold a couple master's course. Didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what he did. What's a master's course? It's a product where you can earn a $3,000 commission. See, if you can go out there and you can sell a product that's $3,500, one sale is a $3,000 commission. Think about it like this, you know. We got 2 guys on here. One of them, right, me, I used to make about $1,250 every couple of weeks if I was doing good with commissions, right? And then if I wasn't, $600 every couple of weeks, just like the other guy was making $650 a week working in a coffee shop. So we got 2 of us, right? So in a month, that's anywhere from $1,200 to $3,000, right? One sale of a high-ticket product, one sale of a high-ticket product, and you replace our whole month, right? Now, even if it only took you 10 hours a week for 4 weeks to make one sale, right? 40 hours for $3,000 is still significantly more than most people make, right? That's like 20, 40, $80 an hour. It's not bad. That's what High Ticket Academy is going to teach you how to do, how to make high-ticket sales. It's a skill that's normally taught for $10,000. And if you're not in Empower Network right now, you should join just to get access to that product with a discount. You should just click the button and get in. And what I would do actually is I'd do this. I'd be reaching for my credit card. I'd be looking around saying, honey, where's the credit card? And don't worry about what it is because she wants it. You know, she wants it. She wants it too. You know, because like here's what I learned. Like some people are always worried about what their wife thinks about stuff. You know what I mean? And I understand because you got if mom ain't happy, ain't nobody in the house happy. It's just the way that it is, right? You know, women have this amazing ability to project emotion, right? That men are kind of like a little bit more dry with that. When we're emotional, we get real emotional. But the reality is, a woman's angry, and it's like fire shooting out from like the sides of her brain, and it just fills the universe. I don't know how that works. You know what I mean? It's like, holy smokes, woman! I don't know that men can't do that. You know what I mean? But same thing when they're loving and happy, right? They just kind of like. But here, you know, here's the reality is, a lot of you guys are like, wonder what my wife will think. She'll think you're a goddamn god when you just get in and go make some money is what she's gonna think. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, you get in and you don't do nothing, you aren't going to make any money. This ain't no Ponzi deal, right? Sometimes people look at this and they're like, all right. Is it one of these schemes? And really they want to know because they're a little nervous and they want to know if they're getting at the top and if they won't get caught, right? But it's like, look, here's the deal. We're selling real products. For example, we want to give you the best value. This product here, High Ticket Academy, we're going to teach you specific skills where you, for the rest of your life, are going to be able to go into any kind of a business and learn how to sell more higher-priced information, okay, and get paid like a real expert. We're going to teach you how to do that in any business. Normally, that stuff sells for $10,000. We're selling it for $197 for a very limited time to members of Empower. In fact, the end of next week, that price is going up and more than doubling at the end of next week. So next Friday, that price is going to increase, right? And then it's going to double again until it gets up to $997, right? And you can get access to it, and that is a steal. If I give it to you for $997 right now, and if I literally, here's how confident I am about what we're selling. If it was $997 to get access to High Ticket Academy, I would tell you right now, I would say, if you were my own brother, this is what I would tell you. I would tell you to pull out your credit card, to click the button, and to buy High Ticket Academy for $997. And here's why I tell my brother that, because I've known my brother for a long time, and one of the things I know would help my brother more than anything is learning how to sell expensive stuff, because when you can sell more expensive stuff, you can earn more expensive commissions, right? I'll tell you what's expensive, though, is not earning the commissions. Because when you're broke, a roll of toilet paper is expensive. When you're broke, a cup of coffee is expensive. When you're broke, a date with your wife's expensive. When you're broke, it's expensive to fill your car with gas. You know what's funny is in America, in some places, when gas goes up to certain levels, people get in riots and fight, and they siphon gas out of each other's tanks and shit. I remember being in Phoenix, Arizona, and there was no gas in town except for in like 2 gas stations, and people would like line up for miles to get gas from these stations like there'd never be gas again. And I'd just sit there on the sidewalk drinking a beer, watching people get into fistfights because it was so damn entertaining. I couldn't even believe myself. I couldn't contain myself. I was so excited watching all the fights. Because people would just get outrageous when they don't have resources. When you don't have enough, it's like your mind feels like you want more, right? But you know what's funny? I have not known how much gas costs for the last 4 years. And I never intend on knowing ever again. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't give a crap. I don't watch the news because I don't care how much gas costs. But it makes food prices go up. Okay, then I'll buy more expensive food. Not a big deal. My world isn't limited by how much your gasoline costs. I don't care about it, right? And so it's like, I'll tell you what's expensive. It's expensive to live a life with no money, right? Sometimes people look at like a product and they say, well, I would get in, but I don't have any money. And here's my response, my truthful, honest response is this. Number one, I get you because I've been there. And number two, when I was there, I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, David, let's see, that would have been 4 years ago. That means I'm 28. Okay? I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, you are one pathetic 28-year-old man who can't afford to spend $500 if you want. That'd be changed, dude. You know what I mean? Do you want to be 38 and not be able to spend $500? Do you want to be 48 and not be able to spend $500? Do you want to be 58 and working in a coffee shop? Right? Do you want to be 68 and not able to spend $500? You know what they do with the senior citizens in America? They give you 40% of the pay that you couldn't live on for the last 40 years. Right? And say, go live your golden years and enjoy. You know what I mean? Yeah, pretty cool if you want to sit around the house and watch cable TV and then move into a reduced 40% house. You know? Well, you say you can make excuses. You can say, yeah, but I don't want to walk around a lot. I'm old. Do you want to be 68 or 78 and you can't spend $500? Really? So here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I told myself. I looked at myself in the mirror. I looked at Dave Wood in the mirror and I said, you better not ever fucking make an excuse again. I ain't taking it, dude. I'm talking to myself. I don't care if you don't got money. Make a decision. Right? So I pulled out my credit card, and then I tried to buy and I couldn't, so I had to borrow money from my mom. Right? Shame, no shame here, guys. No shame, right? You know, like people, they, you know, here it's like, you know, we were on a call the other night. There was Shannon Levine was on the phone, who I'd never heard her story before, and you know, she said something that actually just cracked me up. You know, her husband's earned like multiple 6-figure months, a lot of times. And she said, I am not a cheap woman. Being married to me is expensive. And you know what I loved about hearing that? Is most women would so bullshit you. They'd say, oh, yeah, you know, I'm not like that, whatever. It's because you can't be. You know what I mean? Well, you can't be. What's a wife with a diamond necklace? It's a happy wife. You know what I'm saying? It's like when your needs are met. that was probably so chauvinistic it was unbelievable. But ladies are awesome, you know what I'm saying? But like the only reason people settle for less than what they really want is because of the bullshit they tell themselves because of the situation they're in. What most people do is they shrink their dreams to match their income. Okay? They shrink their dreams to match their income. What we want to teach you how to do is to grow your income to catch your dreams. And I hope that it never catches up. Because if it does catch up, I hope by then your dreams are bigger. Right? What would you really do if time and money weren't an issue for you ever again? I mean, would you live in the same house you're living in? Would you move? Would you live in Costa Rica? Like, here I am, and this is like my place. This is Escazú in Costa Rica. And you can't see it right now because it's the nighttime, but there's a swimming pool right there that looks out over the city. And this is a 4-story house that I live in, really by myself. Actually, I don't even live here right now, but I'm moving in here with my lady here next couple of days. It's my home office, and I just rented a big old house to be my office. And this house that I'm renting to be my office is $8,000 a month. You know, the internet's $1,000 a month. My maid that makes the food and cleans the house is $1,100 a month, and she's here, 40 hours a week cleaning and cooking food and doing laundry and stuff. And it's amazing how organized my closet is now. I walk in my closet, and my closet is color coded. It's like all my orange clothes are here, you know what I mean? All my blue clothes are here, so I can just like walk in my closet and like know where my clothes are. It's unbelievable. You know what I mean? I can't do that. I've got a personal assistant, a couple $1,000 a month. And you know what the truth is? All these expenses and all this stuff, I don't even look at it. I just review them once a month. Right? And decide if I want to cut something out or add something else. I don't even look at it. I don't even check. Right? Guys, that is having the ability to detach from time and money. Right? That is being able to create your dreams. Now, are we guaranteeing you? Are we making a guarantee? Am I writing you a contract that says you will make money? No. Why? Because it's like the reverse of the guarantee. Just like I can't guarantee that a meteor is not going to fall on my head tomorrow, I can't guarantee that you're not lazy. You know what I mean? Why is this man here, making more money every few months than he ever made in a year? I'll tell you why. It's because he wants to go goof off and go surfing at the beach so goddamn bad he'll work his ass off to be able to do it whenever he wants. That's why. Because he's got a dream. Because he's willing, I was in a room in a house years ago. It was like back up in Phoenix, right, when I was in Amway. And there's this guy named Dave Shores who's still in Amway. He's a founder's diamond there. He's been living the dream for when I met this guy, he had a beard that was out to here. He was living in a $4.5 million mansion in Whitefish, Montana on the river. And he hadn't shaved his beard in 6 months because he'd just go fishing all day. Right? And he'd been living like that for 20 years when I met him. 20 years, guys. I mean, just unbelievable, right? And, I met this guy. I remember he said something that just blew me away. He said, I'm ambitiously lazy. He says, you want to know what that means? He had this way of smirking with his face. You want to know what that means? It's like, yeah, he says, it means that I'll work my ass off to be lazy for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Most people are lazily ambitious, which means they'll be lazy and just dream about things and never work for them, right? Guys, you got to work. You got to learn what to do. You got to learn how to communicate. There's some skills you got to learn. But here we are in Empower. By the way, just join. Just pull out your credit card and buy. Just join. Just get in. Why? Well, because of who we are. So you don't have to be a little raunchy like me. Like sometimes people hear me and they're like, God, dude, stop cussing. No. But you don't have to. Yeah? You don't have to. You know, I prefer for the South Park worldview, where we can just cuss as much as we want. No, I'm joking. You know, but no, I won't do what you want. That's the thing. It's like, you know, sometimes people say the customer's always right. No, they're not. Usually they're wrong, right? Because if I gave the customers everything they wanted, they'd all be broke, right? People want to be handheld, like that's going to help them. You know what I mean? You know, it's really tempting if you see a butterfly trying to get out of a cocoon. It's really tempting to break it open. If you've ever seen it, it's just like you can hear this like weird sound, like they're screeching or screaming or something inside, and it's like, what's going on in there? And it's like shaking all over the place. But if you break that thing out, the butterfly will attempt to fly, and its wings will never gain the strength, and it'll fall to the ground and die. Because the strength to fly comes from beating its way out of the cocoon. That's how a butterfly can fly. And if they don't do that, they never have the strength in their wings, because there's never again enough resistance created in anything that they do to be able to give them the strength to fly. And people are like that. Sometimes people got to struggle. You know, if you take a baby, this is something I learned in Hawaii, you know, how to teach babies to swim. You just put them in water and they can swim. You know that? Babies can just swim. Well, they've been around floating around in water for like 9 months, right? Well, they'll scream their ass off, but they can swim. They've got a holding their breath reflex when they go underwater from being in the womb for 9 months. But if you wait a couple of years, then they have to learn to swim, right? They have to learn to swim. My brother's kids are great swimmers, because when they were babies, you just kind of drop them in the ocean and calm beaches and stuff and watch them scream. You know what I mean? With reps are a little bit like that. You know, sometimes people are like, handhold me, handhold me. No. Because here's the truth. Here's what I know about people. I know that if I interfere with your creative energy to become who you want to be, you'll never get there. See, because here's what it really takes to succeed. What it really takes to succeed is your dreams become important enough to you that you put all your heart and soul into them. Right? And here's the thing. Your heart and soul is going to come up with a different conclusion than mine. And if I go and I interfere and I break you out of your cocoon and I say, here, let me hand hold you. Wait, let me hold one hand and then reach around and grab your butt with my other hand while I give you a kiss on your neck and also tell you what to do at the same time. You know, people don't succeed like that. That's why in most network marketing, nobody has any victories ever. There's no stories like this guy in normal network marketing. You know what I mean? There is, but they're like 1 in 8 million people. You know what I mean? It's true. You know what I mean? There's a company selling juice. I'm not going to mention the name of it. They have 3 million distributors. 3 million. Okay? We've only had total ever like maybe 100,000 distributors. You know, because we've had more customers, but they're customers. They're not reps, right? We got a lot of customers. They had 3 million. You want to know how many? Guess how many people there were who were under 20, who were making 6 figures a year? Guess how many?
5.
1. 1. One guy who was 18 years old who somehow managed to do it. Why? Because it's impossible to do. You got to be a damn superhero to do it. You got to get 8 million people in your downline to make $2.40. I mean, I'm slightly exaggerating, but it's difficult. In Empower Network, it's retarded. I mean, we got Dakota McLaren down in Colombia, you know. And this kid, you ever seen that kid's videos? I mean, he can't keep the acne off his face. You know, he's still at that age. And the other day, I mean, I logged in and I looked at it and I was like, what the hell, man? You know, I mean, He doesn't even have to do home meetings. You know, in normal network marketing, if you're going to make $100,000 a year, you're doing home meetings 5 nights a week and driving around, and it takes up your whole night. And here's this punk, zit-covered 18-year-old kid out in Colombia, right, living a fantasy that people dream about all their life. See, I call that the now plan. What's the now plan? Well, it starts with this. It starts with your credit card. You start laughing. Here's what you do. Here's like, some people are nervous about buying stuff, and here's actually how to get out of it. Just do an exercise with me here for a second. Pull out your credit card, hold it in your hand. I'll wait for a second. Yeah, go ahead and get your credit card out. Let's just do it together. Cover those numbers, right? It's fine. And just start laughing hysterically. Just like, now go ahead and buy. In a good mood, right? Because you got to get in a good mood. And here's why you should buy. Just pull your credit card out. Here, let's do it again. Let's together. Let's just do this here.
God, come on.
All right, now click the link and buy. In a good mood, because you gotta, if you don't buy anything, you know, people are like, oh, I don't want to buy anything. It's like, really? I don't want to buy anything. I just want to sell stuff. What are you going to sell? Well, I want to sell that stuff. And you don't want to buy it. No. So you're not willing to overcome your own objections. How do you overcome somebody else's? You know what I mean? It's like, no, I won't do it. I just want to make money, right? Okay. Pull out your credit card, and if you're nervous about it, or it works even better if you're stuck up, right? If you're wearing a suit, you just break the buttons at the top of the suit, just kind of like tear them a little bit, right? And then pull your credit card out. Laughing hysterically as you're buying, right? See, here's the funny thing, man, is people think I smoke weed, and I actually don't. I just am stoned on life, you know. What happens when you know, you live this weird life for like years, where it's like, you know, you like don't have to do what other people do to make money anymore. You know what I mean? What do you? It's like, what does life become like? It's like, well, all of a sudden you can start thinking like you actually want to and saying what you want to all the time, and it's just outrageous. You know, like some people, they get like, you know, they get started in a business, and they what are we talking about, by the way? Nothing. It's just hilarious. It's Friday night. Just give us a break. But you know, they get started in a business, and they're like, they put on this this show. You know what I'm saying? They put on this show that's like, you know, I'm Mr. Successful. You know what people really want to see? They want to see who you are. They want to know you're real. See, people listen to me, and even if they disagree, even if they think I dress bad, right, or they don't like my hair or whatever, or they say, damn it, stop cussing. Usually it's like, damn it, stop cussing, you cocky little fucker. You know, that's what they say, right? In their head. But even if they say that, you know what they're also doing? Inside, they're respecting me. Not because I agree with them. They're respecting me because they know when this mouth opens up, I say exactly what I want to say. And they wish they could do that. They wish they could do it. Pull out your credit card and buy. Hit the button and buy. And register for High Ticket Academy. Right? Register for High Ticket Academy. Is your site back up, by the way?
It's back up, yeah.
Oh, sweet. I'm gonna pop on here real quick. Just see what kind of feedback we're getting. You never know how people are reacting, other than the fact that they think it's hilarious. Dude, you got these like badass sites. You know what I mean? Like, look at this thing. What a badass freaking website.
I do my best.
I mean, you know, it's just a beautiful thing, right?
Don't worry if you can't see the buy button, Dave. The buy button pops up about a minute after you're on the page.
Right. So if you guys haven't seen the buy button yet, that means you just got here, and in which case you need to wait a minute to buy. In case that wasn't clear. Why should you buy? Here's why. Now, I think I say your name sort of right. Is it Keala? I can't ever remember how to say your name. Keala?
Well, last night on the Hangout you called me Keela. Or maybe Kayla, I don't know, which Kayla, by the way, is a girl's name.
Well, I remember it's from Hawaii, I can say it, because I lived there. So it's Keala, though, right?
Yep, you're right.
Keala,
Nailed it.
I got to remember that's from Hawaii, though, because if that was a United States name, it would be Kayla, or Kayla, that's what it would be. But Keala from Hawaii. So you look at Keala, right? Here, and I'm going to do a concerted effort to just remember your name from now on because you're important. Here's why you should join. Because here's a leader, right? How do you know a leader? You don't know a leader from what they say. You know a leader from what they produce. That's it. The results they produce. Because a lot of people say stuff. I have people get involved who've done this before. They're like, well, I've done it before. And they don't go out and earn the money Keala's make. You have people who get in and then they're like, oh, I'm going to do big things. And you say, okay. But then you watch what they do. Why should you join his team? Is because of what he's doing. Look at what he's doing. He's here. He's on Hangout. Number one, selling stuff. Right? Now, you might not think this is selling because we're not talking about anything. Oh, God, this is like the best selling ever. Right? Why? Because here's the beauty. We don't have to give you some scripted, boring, tight-ass sales presentation to get you to buy. Right? Because if you don't get in, we just don't give a shit. Because we are going to go get somebody else who wants it to be in. See, I want to say what I want. I want to speak the truth. I want to tell people how it is. Because the reality is, if I tell you how it is, if I tell you the truth, if I tell you what it takes to succeed, and I say, hey, look, this isn't for everybody. You're not guaranteed to make money here. This isn't a free ride. You're not going to get in and have an organization put under you automatically with no work on your part. You have to go out there and make some sales. But when you do, there's nothing that works better than this, right? There's nothing that produces what we produce. That's what I can say. There isn't anything. Find me something. Find me something that's producing what this is producing, or even remotely close. My challenge to you is this. Hey, find me something. Because I'm going to tell you the way that it is. And I'll tell you, if you are not in right now to pull your credit card out, click that button without any compunction, I can look you in the eye. Even though if you're sitting right here, I'd do the same thing. I'd lean in, I'd look at you, and I'd say, just get in, dude, or dudette, whichever one you are. Dudette, that was funny. You know what I mean? Get in. Just join. Because you're joining a good leader. You're joining a good team. You're joining somebody that's focused. You're joining somebody that understands what we're doing, that understands the vision, understands the mission, understands the game, and is new. And you know what the cool thing is about being involved with somebody who's creating the new success is sometimes, I'll be honest with you, it's a little easier to run with them. Because after a while of doing this and you're making so much money, you become this unrelatable icon in a way, right? Who only kind of relates to other iconic figures, right? That's just what happens because you get so disconnected with like fucking normal shit. You know what I mean? Like I haven't looked at a price tag on anything in years. I just don't look at prices. I literally, and I probably should because I'd probably save more money. I probably spend way too much money. But it seems to be okay. You know what I mean? Like you become disconnected from stuff normal people are going through. Right? Now it doesn't mean you don't have issues. You still might have marriage issues or whatever. Right? Not that I know anything about that. But the reality is, guys, is that you become disconnected a little. When you get involved with somebody who is really just, and I'm telling you something, Kale, you are just starting to take off, brother. You're just starting, right? Look back at this last year and compare it to the previous year. It's not just an increase. It's like the heavens opened and rained hundreds. You know what I mean? You're just grabbing them like this for a year. That's like what happened, right? But, dude, it's like transformational, right? What's next will seem to other people to be supernatural, right? Because this is how I started. And guess what, guys? This is why you should join. And I'm telling you something, because we're joking and playing and stuff like that, but the reality is you guys already know what it is. And if you don't know what it is, then just buy, and you'll know what it is after you are. You'll get a text. You can send Kayla a text message and just say, hey, what did I just buy? And he'll probably laugh hysterically and laugh hysterically, and just say, don't worry about it. Just buy the rest of the products, right? Trust me. Now, here's the thing, right? The people that were around me consistently all the time for the last 4 years, starting from about 4 years ago, all of them are six-figure earners. All of them. The people that stuck around with me, they went with me. Some of them are earning ridiculous six-figure incomes, right? I've got people who've been around me. For example, Mike Hobbs. When Mike Hobbs started following me and started being involved with me, Mike Hobbs was making like $1,000 or $2,000 a month maybe, right? Been connected to me for 4 years, kind of doing what I'm doing. Been on a lot of calls, met him several times. Mike Hobbs is making a huge amount of money now. I actually don't even know. Paul Hutchins. He's a result of the first guy that I got in. Why? Because those guys got in when I was making six figures. And they stayed connected to me, and they followed me through my own transformation. That's why. You guys need to get in. Because the next 3 years are going to be supernatural for Kayala and the people around him, the people connected, the people that are close to him. You guys need to get to the event. If you don't have event tickets to Miami, honestly, here's the truth. Don't ever talk to me. I don't want to hear it. People are like, oh, I can't go, it's last minute. I don't care. Because in 2002, when I first got in the industry, I met a guy named Brad Duncan who was making $500,000 a month, cornered him in a hotel room, and he told me if I didn't go to the event that was happening in 2 weeks in Long Beach, California, that he would never talk to me again. And I said, I don't have any money. He said, stop speaking poverty into your life. I don't ever want to hear it again. I won't ever take excuses from you. Because one side effect of never taking excuses from myself is that I never have to hear excuses from another human being. So your excuses, here's what it does. It's like, that's like it goes right over my head, and I don't even care to understand them because I think they're so stupid.
How does it go again, Dave? Can you show us one more time? It's like, I'm using that from now on, man.
Well, there's actually a few ways now that we've overcome that you have to answer questions. There's a few ways of overcoming objections. Like, this is actually my favorite one. Like, here, give me an objection. Like, I need to talk to my wife. Just kidding.
Well, I really like it, Dave, but I need a minute to talk to my wife.
Can you repeat that for me? Because I think I heard something, but I really don't think I heard it.
Well, I really like everything you're saying, Dave, but I need a few minutes to speak to my wife.
Sorry, what did you say? You need to talk to who?
My wife. I need to talk to my wife.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to turn the phone recorder on. Hold on a second. I got to get this on audio. Hey, Aki, this guy wants to talk to his wife before he joins. Wait, hold on a second. Say that again, Dave.
No, wait, Dave, I'm serious. I need to speak to my wife.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Where's your credit card?
It's right here.
Stop being a wussy, dude. Just get in.
Dave, I want to join your team right now, man. You have no idea, bro. You've hypnotized me throughout this entire presentation. I want to take my credit card out and just buy stuff all over again. I want to get all in again right now.
I know, I want to join too, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the reality is like people just give excuses, and the reason they give excuses is because excuses are a defense mechanism. That's what I actually learned from observing, not from reading anything. I read a lot of stuff too, but what I learned is excuses are a defense mechanism that people have to protect themselves. Wives object to things husbands do because they want to protect their mate. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason they're doing it, and it's an automatic, unconscious defense mechanism. People are putting up excuses because people put up excuses for everything. And it's like a lot of the guys can relate to this, but girls, you can relate to this too. And I know I'm being a bit chauvinistic today, but just because I think it's hilarious. I really think women are just awesome and powerful. But like you're in a bar, ladies, right? And you're single. Just think back to the day if you're not single anymore. And even a hot, really attractive, really intelligent guy comes up to you and starts talking to you. What do? You just put a wall up, don't you? You know what I mean? Why do you put that wall up? You want to see if he's a man or not. It's not because you don't think he's hot. Maybe he's not, and that's why you're putting it up. But really, why are you putting it up? This is what the wall does. It's like is this a man? You know what I mean? Or not? Right? So what's the normal response? You walk up, you start talking, and she just kind of like turns around or something like that. Now, what do most men do? They go home. They tail tuck between their legs. Right? What does a man do? He starts laughing. Maybe he goes like this, hey, I was talking to you. Right? No emotional tension about it whatsoever. They think it's hilarious. It's like, oh, just stop being cocky. Right? And then what happens? The wall disappears. What is an objection? What's a reason why somebody doesn't do something? It's this unconscious automatic response people put up. And it doesn't mean anything. They don't really want questions answered. They want to know if you're serious. They want to know if you really are serious about your business. They want to know, are you really here to make a difference? Or are you going to give up all the time? Because if you're going to give up when somebody gives you a little tension or something like that, God, you'll quit over everything. Because there's tension everywhere. What's going to happen when there's a problem in your business? Nobody wants to get involved with somebody who quits over problems, right? So objections are an automatic defense mechanism. People just want to say, hey, look, can I really run with you? And it's unconscious, they're not thinking that. But what happens is they put this wall up and you just say, just stop. You know what I mean? Flick them in the nose or something. Is this a pyramid scheme? Sorry, can you repeat what you said? Is this a pyramid? What are you flicking me in the nose for? Just join. Just join. You know what I'm saying? Here's what you do. You just pull out, if you don't know how to join, it's easy. There's a link below the video. You've probably got a wallet in your pocket like this. You just pull the wallet out. You got a credit card in there. Just pull the credit card out. I actually like to put my credit card on the corner of my computer like this. Usually like on the corner when I'm buying something, I put it right there. And then I just put my computer down. I load up the website, and I just enter in my credit card information, and I just join. And right after you join, you want to make sure to get access to High Ticket Academy. Right? Maybe Kayala could email you a direct link to that if you're a member. You have to be a member to get the discount, because the discount's only good until next Friday. And after next Friday, the price is going up to $497. And it'll never go down to $197 again. And we're going to teach you how to sell $5,000 and $10,000 and $20,000 products on there. What can that do for you? What that can do for you is that can teach you how to earn higher levels of commissions. That's what it can teach you to do, because when you sell a higher, more expensive price product, you earn a higher level of commissions. Right? So what do? Well, it's really simple. You got a wallet, and it's got a credit card in it, and you just pull the wallet out, pull your credit card out, and once again, I open up my computer like this. I always buy stuff on my laptop, and I just put my credit card right here in the corner where workstation company, and I set my computer down, and I just go ahead and type my information in, and I buy something. That's how easy it is to buy. Sometimes people they say, oh, I don't want to get in because I'm nervous to spend the money. Just stop. Just join, right? Even if you're in already and you need to buy the High Ticket Academy. Look, if you don't buy the High Ticket Academy, you are losing. You're not even spending money by buying it. It's like you're taking money out of my pocket because it's so cheap. It's like you're taking $9,000 out of my pocket because this should be selling for $10,000 and we're selling it for $197. It's like I'm giving you $9,000. You're not even spending anything, right? Just stop it. People are like, oh, I don't know. It's a big decision. Is it really a big decision to click the button and buy? It's $25 to get in. Now, it might be a bigger decision if you want to get all in, right? But you can wait a day to do that if you want. But here's the deal, right? It's a $25 decision right now to get in. Here's what a $25 decision, here's how much emotional tension it really has in your life. If you're in Walmart, and I know if you're broke, that's exactly where you shop all the time. You go to Walmart, and you're walking down the aisle, and you're buying things, and without thinking, you spend an extra $100. And then at the end, when you're going to the cash register, you know why Walmart has all those magazines and all those pieces of gum and stuff there? It's because you're spending an average of $25 in the line as you're checking out. So don't tell me $25 is a lot of money. It's the checkout line in Walmart and the pack of gum and the cigarettes and the magazine that you're buying on the shelf and maybe the energy drink, right? Some people spend $25 a day on cigarettes, right? And they're like, well, no, I can't get involved with that thing. I don't have any money. And they're smoking away $100 a day. You know what I'm saying? Don't even give me any excuses for why you can't join. It's not a big decision to join. And it's not a big decision to get High Ticket Academy. And so we don't have live comments on here. That's actually one suggestion I'd make for you on this page is go install some live comments because you can interact with people and it's easier to sell more stuff because you can tell where people's at. One suggestion I've got for you. What we use on the corporate site, there's a really cheap thing called Chatroll. I think it's like $20 a month or something like that. And you can have those live comments for up to 250 people or something like that. And it's super cheap. But then you can ask who's made the decision to buy. Huh?
Awesome. I'll go add that. I just had the site came with Facebook comments, and I just put that on there.
Well, that works too. And here's the reason why that works. A lot of the time is because you don't really need to talk about anything, do we? Just buy. You know what I mean? The problem is you're going to be typing, entering your credit card information. What's the point of comments, right?
Dude, I got a quick story for you, man. This is kind of funny, though. When I first got started here, right, I bought the Costa Rica Intensive, right, our $500 product, and I started going through the training in there. And there's several parts in there where you're taught it's this training where you're at your home in Costa Rica. I mean, obviously you know, but in case our guests don't know, and you're at your home in Costa Rica and you're teaching a bunch of people how you went out and made 6 figures in like 4 different companies and were like the top earner all over the globe. Or something like that, and so there's parts in there where you keep telling people to like just buy, you don't have to deal with obstacles, you don't deal with their objections, just buy, right? So I got kind of cocky, right, and I take what you're teaching me, and I was actually working at that cafe, that coffee shop, okay. Now that coffee shop was kind of unique because we used to sell these little like electronic cigarettes, right, to help people quit smoking. So it was a coffee shop and we sold these electronic cigarettes on the side. And so part of our job was to explain these like electronic cigarettes to people, and they're not like, those ones that little ones that look like a cigarette and don't work very well. These are a little bit more complex. But so I started just using what you were telling me, right? And I just started like people would come in and I'd be explaining the kit to them, and then they'd like give me objections at the end, and I'd be like, dude, just buy, just don't be a hard ass about it, just buy, and so I started doing this all the time, and it's the first time. Okay, so you have at that job you had a quota that you had to meet before you got bonuses. Okay, so you had to make so many sales in a week. Or in a pay period, I should say, before you got bonuses. And so what I would do, so I just started using that all the time. People would always come in, ask a bunch of questions, and then want to leave without buying stuff. And so I just tell them, you know what, these questions really just don't matter. I mean, you can go home, keep smoking, and die, or you can just buy this right now, right? So just buy. And I would just tell people stuff like that. And I started hitting my bonuses, man, at this job. But here's the other thing. It's like, at the same time, this girl at one of the other shops at another location, she comes up to me one day. We're at one of the company meetings, and she's like, hey, what are you doing over at the cafe? And I was like, why? What's going on? She goes, well, I got a lot of people coming to our shop, and they're like, man, that bald-headed guy over at the coffee shop, he's kind of an asshole. And she's like, well, why? What did he do? And they're like, well, I had some questions, and he just kept telling me to buy. And then she asked them, so did you buy the kit? And they're like, oh, yeah, I bought the kit. But he wouldn't answer my questions. He just kept telling me to buy.
Well, people don't really want their questions answered, okay? All they want to know is if it's good, right? And guess what you do if it's not good? You're always trying to come up with excuses for their questions, right? It's like, well,
right.
Let me explain that to you. Let me explain that to you. Let me explain that to you. But it's like and it's just being weak. You don't need to answer everybody's questions all the time because people don't care. You know what I mean? Well, exactly how do I do it? Number one, get in, right? And number two, get other people to get in.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I used to have this presentation. I was selling these silver coins, right? And I like this company a lot actually. But I made this presentation. It was called The Ultimate Way to Get Money, right? And it was the most hilarious presentation ever because there was 3 steps to getting more money, right? And the step 1 was get money because when you bought the coins, it was actually buying money because the product was actually selling money. It was like these coins. I said, so step 1, get money. And number 2, get other people to get more money. That's the next step because then you get other people to buy the coins. So number 1 is get money. Number 2, get other people to get money. And step 3, when you do that, you get more money. And I talked for an hour and a half about that. You know what I mean? People watch that thing and they just burst into hilarious laughter because they couldn't believe I was saying what I was saying because I was living in Costa Rica on this whiteboard and walking back and forth and ranting and raving. And they're like, did he just say what I think he said? You know what I mean? And then they just pay attention and they start watching. Right? They start paying attention and watching. Right? That's what they do. And then as they're watching, they decide that, hey, this is something different. This is something where I can actually learn to build a business and be me. I can build a business and be myself. Imagine if you had the ability to build a business and be you at the same time. Be you. Be who you are. Right? To be who you. Imagine if you had the ability to build a business and be yourself at the same time. What would that be like? You could actually be you. You could say what was in your heart and soul, right? People get a little bit more confident when they get around people who allow them to be themselves, right? I think people are beautiful the way they are, right? Like my lady down here in Costa Rica, her name's Priscilla, and she's 8 months pregnant, and she's got a kid who's 3.5 years old, and this kid just screams and yells and runs everywhere and is super loud. And someone had the audacity to tell Priscilla that kid should be on like Ritalin or something like that. And I said, oh fuck no. Why? What's that saying? It's saying I want him to be like that kid, right? Society is poisoned by this. It's poisoned by people who want you to be some other way, because that kid, I'll tell you something, they're one of the smartest kids I ever ran into in my life. You know what I mean? You watch him solve puzzles, and you turn on a video game, and he's playing video games that can't be played by a 12-year-old. He's real smart. But here's somebody wanting him to be like an accountant, or wanting him to be like a doctor or a lawyer. Right? Now, we've got doctors and lawyers in the world. You don't need to be like another person. You don't need to be like, the last thing I could do, like imagine if I got on here, I don't even know what you're smoking over there, right? It doesn't matter. Imagine if I got on here and I'd be like, hey, Kayala, it's not professional to smoke on a live stream. Fuck that. You know what I mean? You do what you want. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to smoke because I don't smoke, right? But I don't smoke for ethical reasons. I just don't smoke. It's just not something I do. But gosh dang it, or if he got on here and I say, you know, it's really better if you wear a gray shirt on live streams. Now, if that actually helped him sell more stuff and it was going to improve his life, he'd buy the gray shirts without a problem. But the reality is society is fraught with people who want other people to be like them, right? Dads who want their sons to be like them, right? Friends who want their friends to be like them and think like them. Spouses who want their husband to think like them or their wife to think like them. You just gotta love people how they are. And when you can really start being yourself, and it doesn't matter if you agree with everybody, you're just you. You know what I'm saying? You're you. It's amazing what kind of world opens up to you and who starts buying stuff. I mean, here's what the reality is. People don't want to get on there and see that. It's like network marketing. They're like, is it duplicatable? Is it duplicatable? You know, people are all different, but they still duplicate. You know what I mean? It's a thing called sex that happens. You know what I mean? Which is creative, fun energy that comes together from unique personalities. It's like this. You know what I mean? Like, duplication comes from people expressing their creative energy. That's how the world grows, right? That's how nature grows. It's evolution, right? If you take all uniqueness out of evolution, what do you take out of the equation? You take the evolution out, right? Because things can't evolve if you can't try better things and worse things. So if we don't have you expressing your personality and being who you really are, we have no ability to grow this community the way that it can grow. Because revolutions come not from process, they come from spirit. Right? They come from visions, they come from dreams, they come from people rallying around an idea. Like this idea, I have this crazy idea. We've got these $1 million rings. I'm going to talk about this every day for the next, I don't know, till we're doing it, and then I'll have something bigger to talk about by then. Hold on a second. We got these rings, and see if I lost mine. Sometimes I lose it, and then it's a pain in the butt. We got this rings, and they're $1 million rings. And on one side it says the date that you joined, which mine says October 27th, 2011. The other side is the date that you earned your first $1 million in commissions with Empower. Mine says February 17th, 2012. Hey, what's up, man?
Frank.
Oh yeah, tell them it'll be like 5 minutes, something like that, 10 minutes. So that means in 3 months or something, I earned like $1 million in commissions from their comp plan. Right? Now that's not saying you're going to do that, right? And I'm not bragging. What I am saying is look what's possible for homeless men that live in Hawaii. And you know what homeless guys look like. They smell bad and everything, you know. So I have this ring here on one side, October 27th, 2011, on the other side, February 17th, 2012. And we'll do that for you, the day you join, the day you earn your first million. I'd love to see you, Kayala, earn your first million this year. I believe you can do it with this high-ticket academy, right? Personally, Kayala, I wouldn't even work with people in your team if they don't get in high-ticket academy. Because if they don't get in high-ticket academy, you're going to have to train them on how to sell the expensive stuff, and so they're going to have a harder time making money than the people who buy it. You're going to have to train them on all the stuff that we're teaching them in the product, and I wouldn't work with them if they don't go to the event. I'd just say, hey, look, here's the deal. I won't work with you if you don't go to the event. Because then I've got all these people at the event that are taking their time and energy to be in Miami in a couple of weeks, and here you are wanting my time and energy and attention, and all these people have made the commitment. So why should I work with you when all these people have made the commitment that I've made?
Right.
Right. I'd like to see you get one by December, or I'd like to see you get one by our last event this year, which would be a little bit of a stretch, but you could do it. You could do it. You could do it with what we're doing in Miami.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Hey, all it takes to make $1 million in a year is this. Okay. Now this is going to be a dramatic oversimplification. You earn about $3,000 a day. Right? So you repeat your $6,000 day, cut it in half, and just do it 7 days a week. That's it. Right. That's not a dramatic overcomplication of what it takes to really, really make lots and lots of money. You guys can, my goal, my vision, I didn't get to that. I want to give out 100 of these a year. Now we need to make a female version, but to do that we need a female to earn $1 million in power. We've got a couple close ones, but don't have one there yet. We got 7 of these. First year it was just 2 of us, Dave Sharpener. Okay? Year 2, 5. Okay? This is going to be our third full year in Empower. I believe we could give out 20. It's my goal. $20 million earners. 20 of you. Because one of these rings is representative of a lot. It's representative of a lot of product sales. It's representative of you learning how to be a leader. And then it's also representative of you creating a lot of success for other people. So to me, this means more than $1 million in commissions. This means somebody who's learned how to be a leader. Somebody who's learned to transform. And a leader doesn't mean a suit and a tie. A leader doesn't mean stuffy asshole. A leader means a transformational agent in the world. Somebody who has a dream, who's speaking life into others. Because what does a dreamer do? They have this side effect of catching other people's hearts on fire. Catching other people's hearts on fire. What happened to Kayala about a year ago? He watched my video and he said, I'm in. Why? Because a dreamer has this ability to ignite other people's souls. Hail to the dreamers of the world. The dreamers are the Martin Luther Kings of the world, right? The Jesuses of the world. You know? Dreamers are the people that start nations. They're the people that start visions. They're the people that believe in other people, even when it doesn't make any sense. Because heck, it didn't make sense to believe in me, did it? I mean, I'm homeless. I've lived in a van. I've tried to do network marketing for 7 years. Now, one thing, I'm just persistent as hell. I failed every class in 8th grade. Didn't go to college. Actually dropped out my first year because I got 2 Fs and the rest of them were Ds. You know? Never could hold a job for more than 6 months in my whole adult life because I was always trying to do network marketing businesses and get fired for trying to recruit somebody at the office or some shit. You know, passing out my lotion, potion, pills, and, you know, from desk to desk at the office because I just couldn't stand it. I'd be listening to Amway audios like, well, I'm supposed to be, like, typing about something, but really I'd just be taking notes on the audio. You know, hell to the dreamers of the world. Because the dreamers are the people that don't make sense, the people that don't care to. Because they don't want to make sense. What they want to do is they want to change the world. They don't want to make sense to it. Right? They don't care to. Why make sense to it? Like the world wants to look at you and say, be like this, be like that. Here's a box to live in. It's 4 foot by 4 foot. Well, there was a bear in a cage out in Montana that was taken out of the wild, and when they took it out of the wild, they put it in the cage. It actually looks a lot like caged animals of society. You know, you sit in a cubicle for 20 years, your eyes just kind of glaze over, your belly gets a little bit big, your tie kind of rises up on its own like Dilbert. And you're sitting there in your office typing away, eyes glazed over, waiting for your next paycheck. Go fetch. Get your next paycheck, right? And the bears were out of the wild. It's crazy. For a week. Pacing back and forth, 10 foot forward, 10 foot back. Every day, 10 o'clock, zookeeper comes, puts a pile of meat by the cage. At first the bear goes, "Ah!" And then it pulls it in. And then something happens after 3 months. It just kind of starts pacing slowly back and forth as it gets a little fat, as his eyes glaze over a little bit, as it realizes I don't have to do anything for my food. Right? I can just show up to work, kind of glaze by in life. Just kind of let life pass me by as I walk back and forth. Starts walking slower. A year something happens. It just starts laying there most of the day. Somebody comes by and goes, like it does that bear thing where it's like, it's like dogs do that too. And then at 10 o'clock walks over, wagging its tail, waiting. Right? Waiting. You ever see that movie Happy Feet where it's like the duck is, or the not the duck, what the hell are these things for penguins? It's sitting there and he puts them in the zoo, and after a while his eyes are glazed over like this, and he's just waiting for the zookeeper to throw fish down so he can eat the fish, right? Sitting in your cubicle at work, looking at your computer screen, right? 10 foot forward, 10 foot back. Well, the zookeeper comes along, and here's what they do. They say, let's take the cage off, see what happens to this bear. And one of their hearts starts pounding because he's remembering this. You know what I'm saying? He's saying, oh no. Take the cage off the bear. Bear just lays there. Tell you to pull out your credit card. You're sitting there. Some of you are just going to lay there. Right? And then, here's what happens. Zookeeper says, wonder what will happen if we put the meat just 5 feet outside where the cage used to be. One of them said, I wouldn't go near that. That bear's crazy. I remember the day. I remember the day when you used to be great. Why do some 30-year-olds always be talking about their high school exploits? Because they haven't had any sense. Right? They haven't had any sense. They live for the day when they could just like go out and like, you know, do wild stuff, and now they're like, yeah, that was nice, as they drink another 40. Waiting for the zookeeper to bring the meat, paycheck at the end of the week. Right? Happy feet staring up into the air, waiting for the fish. Give me my paycheck. Society's programmed you to sit there. And so zookeeper comes, puts this little meat 5 feet outside the edge of the cage. The bear gets up, walks to where the edge of the cage used to be, and waits. And waits. Some of you are going to be like the bear. Other of you, you got happy feet going on. You're starting to dance and sing. Your eyes are starting to light up. You're starting to say, it's my time now. You're looking at Keala. Man, it's got to be difficult. You know what I'm saying? Keala. You're looking at Keala and you're saying, if he could do it, I can do it. You're looking at me, you're saying, if he could do it, I can do it. You look at Dave Shark, you say, if he can get out of drugs and do it, I can do it. You look at Tracy Walker and say, if she can do it, I can do it. You look at Justin Berengi and say, oh, Lord, I can do it. Right? You look at Vic Strizhouse and you say, he can do it. But then, the reality is that you can do it. The only question is, are you going to stand there at the edge of the cage waiting for your next paycheck to get there on Friday so you can spend it by Monday? Or are you going to start dancing, start singing, start fighting? And like Rocky, it's the 9th round for you. And you might be bloody and beaten down, and people told you your whole life you can't do it, and you're getting up and you're saying, fuck this. I'm swinging. That's when you pull out the credit card and you say, I don't care what happened in the past. I'm in. And those of you who have a dream will do that, and you'll get to Miami, and you will buy High Ticket Academy right now because you want to learn the skills. They start next Tuesday, by the way. So, that being said, I'm done talking. I just want to congratulate all of you on making the decision to buy today and putting up with our silly jokes and whatnot, because this is just who we are. Isn't it fun? Ain't it great? Cal, ain't it great?
Man, you said something earlier, man, and I really love it. It's what if you could just get paid to just be who you are? And I think that's really what the dream is, man. I've worked for mortgage companies. I've sold real estate. I sold life insurance. I dressed up in the suit, and drove the nice car and pretended to have success that I didn't actually have, so that people would take me seriously when I sat down at their table. And honestly, man, this past year, bro, it's not really about the money, man. It's freaking spiritually satisfying to earn money being who I really am. It's a fact, man. And thank you for doing what you do, man.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here, my friend. I'll see you. And there you have it, guys. Calic and I here. I'm going to be signing out here in just a second, and I do want to, just kind of summarize here for you. Right below this video, there's a button. You can just click that button right now and go ahead and buy. And get started today for a measly $25. When you get started, log into your back office and upgrade right now and buy the High Ticket Academy so that we can teach you how to sell $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 products so that you can earn $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 commissions and really create that life that you want for yourself fast, right? Fast. I don't know if you heard Dave Wood in the beginning of the broadcast. He said I made $12,000 off of our $25 product, but I made $36,000 off of our highest end product, right? And that's all last year. And so you can make a lot more money selling a lot of big ticket items, and truth is it's really not harder to sell big ticket items than it is to sell cheap little $25 blogging platforms. Okay, so anyway, my friend, I really look forward to working with you. I look forward to locking arms with you in the future. I look forward to learning more about you and your dreams and your goals and your aspirations and the things that you want to create in your life. I look forward to helping you create those things. I look forward to locking arms with you and going forth into the future, knowing with certainty that we're going to get to where it is we want to go because we're working together. I'll see you on the inside, my friend. Take care. Bye-bye.